Calories, macros, deficit, insulin, what does this all even mean? People throw around fitness terms like these, assuming we all know what they mean. Most women don't, and that's exactly why so many feel stuck. Because fat loss isn't about working harder, it's about actually understanding what's going on inside your body. Once you understand the basics, everything becomes simpler, more predictable, and way more sustainable. So in this video, I'm going to break this down in a way that actually makes sense. And more importantly, in a way you can actually apply to your life. Let's start with the most important concept, calories. Calories are simply units of energy, that's it. They're not good or bad, they're not something to fear, they're just fuel. Everything you eat or drink contains calories, and your body uses them to move, think, breathe, function. Even right now, sitting and watching this, your body is burning calories. Now here's where fat loss comes in. If you eat more calories than your body needs, your body stores the excess as fat. If you eat less than your body needs, your body uses stored energy, fat, to make up the difference. That's it, that's the game. And no, it doesn't matter if it's organic, gluten-free, sugar-free, or made by a private chef in Dubai, every balance still applies. So if your goal is fat loss, you must be in a calorie deficit. There is no way around it. A calorie deficit simply means you're eating slightly less than your body needs to maintain its current weight. Notice I said slightly. Not extreme, not starving, not cutting out everything you enjoy, just a small, consistent deficit over time. This is where people go wrong. They either go too aggressive at 1,200 calories and can't sustain it, or they think they're in a deficit, but they actually aren't, because fat loss isn't about being perfect for 5 days, it's about being consistent for months. My name's Alex. I help women from all over the world transform their bodies, get leaner, stronger, and less inflamed through an anti-inflammatory diet, healthier lifestyle habits, and workouts anyone can do no matter how busy they are. Now, let's talk about something that confuses a lot of people, macros. Macros is protein, carbs, and fats. These are what makes up your calories. Understanding macros gives you flexibility, not restriction. Instead of thinking, I can't eat this, you start thinking, how does this fit? That's the difference between yo-yo dieting and actually building a lifestyle you can stick to. Let's start with protein. If there's one thing most women undereat, it's protein, and this matters way more than you think. Protein is what builds muscle, maintains muscle, keeps you full, and here's why that's important. When you lose weight, you don't just lose fat, you can lose muscle too. And losing muscle leads to a slower metabolism, a softer look, less definition. Protein helps protect against that. This is how you go from just smaller to lean, toned, defined. So simple shift you can make right now. Start your day with protein, because if your breakfast is currently coffee and vibes, we need to fix that. Now, let's talk about carbs. Carbs have been villainized for years, but carbs are actually your body's preferred energy source. They fuel your workouts, your movement, your brain. Carbs don't make you gain fat. Overeating calories does. So, where did the myth come from? Most processed foods are high in carbs and very easy to overeat. That's where the problem is. But whole carbs, fruit, potatoes, rice, they're not the issue. No one gained weight from overeating blueberries. Now, fats. Fats are essential. They support hormones, brain health, nutrient absorption, but they are very calorie dense, which means it's very easy to overeat them without realizing. Small drizzle of olive oil, that's easily 100 calories. Handful of nuts, that adds up very quickly. So yes, include fats, but be mindful, especially if fat loss is your goal. Now, let's talk about training, because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Fat loss is not about doing endless cardio. Cardio burns calories, but strength training changes your body. Muscle is what gives you that toned look, defined shape, high metabolism. If you're only doing workouts that leave you sweaty, but you're not progressing, you're missing the point. You need structured resistance training, progression over time. This brings us to one of the most important concepts, progressive overload. If you want your body to change, you need to challenge it. That means lifting slightly heavier, doing more reps, improving over time. If you keep doing the same weights, same reps, same workouts, your body adapts, and when your body adapts, progress stops. You need to give your body a reason to keep changing. Now let's clear up another big myth, insulin. Insulin gets blamed for everything, but its job is simple. It moves nutrients into your cells, that's it. It's not the enemy. problems don't come from eating carbs, they come from high body fat, low activity, poor lifestyle habits, not because you ate a banana. Now let's talk about metabolism, because this is where people get frustrated. BMR, basal metabolic rate. Stay with me. Your BMR is the amount of calories your body burns just to stay alive. No movement, no workouts, just existing. The more muscle you have, the higher your BMR, which means you burn more calories doing nothing. So when people say my metabolism's broken, most of the time it's not broken, it's under-muscled. Now let's zoom out. Your full daily burn, TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. This includes your BMR, your daily movement, steps, lifestyle, your workouts, digestion. And here's something most people don't realize. Your workouts are only a small part of your daily burn. Steps, lifestyle, and daily movement matter way more than people think. So if your entire strategy is, I'll just train harder, you're ignoring most of the equation, and that's why you're not seeing results. Now, let's address something I hear all the time. My metabolism is damaged. In reality, most people just underestimate how much they're eating, overestimate how much they're burning. Yes, metabolic adaptation exists, but it happens after long periods of extreme restriction, not after a couple of weeks. So before blaming your metabolism, look at your habits, look at your consistency, look at your data. Now, this next part is huge. Weight loss versus fat loss are not the same thing. Weight loss is the number on the scales going down. Fat loss is actually reducing body fat. You can lose weight and look the same, stay the same weight and look completely different, because body composition matters more than the scale. This is why fluctuation happens. Your weight can change because of water, carbs, hormones, digestion. So if your weight jumps overnight, that's not fat. You need to zoom out, look at trends, not daily numbers. Once you understand that, you stop guessing, you stop jumping from diet to diet, and you start building something that actually lasts. Because fat gain isn't random. It's not because you lost willpower, it's not because your body hates you, it's energy balance, muscle mass, habits over time. When you understand the rules, you can finally play the game properly. Let's talk about something that quietly sabotages a lot of people, and that is consistency versus intensity. Most people don't have a knowledge problem, they have an execution problem. They'll be perfect Monday to Friday, skip meals, train hard, hit their calories exactly, and then the weekend comes and everything goes out the window. Unplanned meals, alcohol, snacking, no structure, and they undo the entire week without realizing. Monday comes around again, they start from scratch. That cycle is what keeps people stuck. Fat loss doesn't come from being perfect sometimes, it comes from being consistent most of the time. You don't need to be 100% strict, cutting out all your favorite foods, never going out. You just need to be 80 to 90% consistent for long enough. That's what actually creates results, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They're either on track or off track. There's no middle ground. But the women who actually see the results, they learn how to stay on track even when life isn't perfect. They make better choices when eating out. Don't panic after one off-plan meal. Get back into routine quickly, because one meal doesn't ruin your progress. But a what's the point now mindset does. And that's the shift we need to make. Stop thinking I need to be perfect. Stop thinking I need to be consistent, because the women who win long term aren't the most disciplined. They're the ones who understand the basics, apply them consistently, and they don't quit when things aren't perfect. And that's exactly what we focus on inside my coaching. No extremes, no restriction, no starting over every Monday, but building a lifestyle that actually fits your life so you can get results and keep them. One last thing, you need to stop looking for the best plan and start following one plan properly. Because I see this all the time, people jumping from keto to fasting to low carb to cutting out sugar every couple of weeks. Not because those things don't work, because they never stuck to them long enough to see results. Fat loss comes from staying on the same path long enough for it to actually work. Think about it like this. If you're trying to get somewhere, you keep changing routes every 5 minutes, you're never gonna get there. And that's exactly what happens with your body. Every time you switch your approach, change your calories, start over, you reset the process. So instead of asking, what's the best diet? Start asking, what can I actually stick to for the next 3 to 6 months? Because that's where the change is gonna happen, not in a perfect week, but in consistent months. And if you want help putting all of this into a personalized plan so you can lose fat, feel stronger, and actually enjoy the process, For more information on how to work one-to-one with me, click the first link in the description. I'd love to help you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.